All right, guys, welcome back to the relegation battle. We've had a week of football, obviously, but let's start off with last night's Ballon d'Or awards. Obviously, best player, best striker, best club, all that stuff was announced. But let's start with obviously the main one, best player. Messi obviously beat Lewandowski to it. Both had great years. Jack, I'll come to you first. Is it, what are your thoughts on the results?
Look, I'm not trying to say Messi didn't deserve it or that. I'm happy Messi won it. I think either of them two, if they would have won it, you couldn't say it was undeserved. I'm not trying to say that, but for me personally, I would have given it to Lewandowski, just because I know Messi's had a brilliant year as well. But a part of it is feel a bit unfair for him just because he didn't get it last year. It is part of it, but then I do think he's also had another incredible season. But for me personally, I would have just tipped Lewandowski. But I'm not trying to say that Messi, Lewandowski was robbed. It's not. I don't think it was that far apart that it was robbed, but it was pretty close. But for me, I would have gone Lewandowski.
Yeah, it's one of the things where even if Lewandowski won it, you couldn't really say, "Oh, that's a robbery" either, because he has had a great season. And I think it's just how it was for so many years with Ronaldo and Messi. Like one of them won it, but whoever did, you can't say, "Oh, that's a robbery," because they both had great seasons. That's how it was this season. But Ty, do you think it was a bit of a sort of strategic move from France football to give that striker the award here? Because I feel like it's almost like they know Lewandowski deserves something from the last 2 years. So they're like, all right, let's just make him something now to soften the blow.
Yeah, I did think that a little bit. I think obviously the rumours about Messi started like last week or like within the last 2 weeks. So I think they obviously came up with that. And then because they knew there was going to be outrage, which there still was, but I think it wasn't as big as it probably would have been because he did win the striker award. So I'd say, yeah.
I feel like that was a bit muggy in a way because they knew that they fucked up. Not fucked up because they cancelled it because of the pandemic. Like, you can't help that. But they knew that, like Messi said, he should have 100% won it last year.
Yeah.
And he didn't get anything for it. And so they're looking at it like they're looking at results. Like, Messi won this year. What can we do so we don't look like idiots and not look, like he's a striker. I will do best striker award this year.
Yeah.
And as soon as that came out, you knew it was finished. You knew Messi was going to win. But I just thought Lewandowski picking that award, he's probably thinking, yeah, great, but I should have the big golden ball from last year kind of thing. So pros and cons, isn't it?
Yeah, you could tell they just did it purely because of that. Otherwise there'd be a best defender, midfielder, goalkeeper award as well. I don't see why you can't just give him one for last year. Like, obviously,
exactly.
They want the money generated from the ceremony and all that kind of stuff, but just give him one. I don't think there's that much harm. I don't think anyone can discredit him for the last 2 seasons even. Yeah, it is a bit unfair, but so I got the numbers here. So Messi won it by 33 votes. Jorginho third. Ty, in my opinion, he's not in Chelsea's best midfielder. Never mind third best of the year. But do you think, as a Chelsea fan, that he was the third best player in the last 10 months or so?
I mean, no.
But I was about to say yes, then. I mean, yeah.
But he did. I think the only reason he's there because he won three trophies. Yeah, he won the Champions League, the Euros, and the Super Cup. So I think that is the main reason he's there, and he played a key role in all of them. But he's not the best player at Chelsea. He's also not the best player in Italy's team either. So no, he wasn't top three. But obviously the reason why he was there was because he won the 3 trophies. I reckon if Conte won the Euros, then he would have been top 3. It's just one of them things. Like he's not the third best player in the world. It should have been, in my opinion, it should have been Salah, who was top 3, because he carried Liverpool last season when they were in a bad place, and obviously the start he's had this year. So I think top 3 should have been Messi, Lewandowski, and Salah. But yeah, I'm not going to complain.
Yeah, I agree. Salah had a great year. I think maybe should have been a bit higher, but for me, Jorginho almost had 300 more votes than Kante. And I'm looking at that like how, if you understand France, obviously, it's putting the Euros, but Chelsea in Champions League, Kante was unbelievable, not to mention how good he was in the finals itself. I feel like he's had a decent, obviously a couple of injuries at the start of this season, but he's still done pretty well. I think that gap is way too big, in my opinion. But yeah, like you said, I guess when you've won those 3 trophies that you did win, it will give you a little bit of a boost. Yeah. The other notable ones there were obviously Benzema 4th, Ronaldo 6th, Salah 7th, De Bruyne 8th, Mbappe 9th, and Donnarumma 10th. Now, obviously, speaking of Donnarumma, Ty, I know you got a bit to say about this, but he did beat Edouard Mendy to the Yachine Award, won by 190 votes.
Right, I've got a question. So if England won the Euros, would Pickford be goalkeeper of the year?
No, because he's terrible at Everton.
So Donnarumma doesn't consistently start for PSG. Navas does. Mendy conceded less in 2021. He had, I think, he's got more clean sheets. He's won the Champions League, record clean sheets. So, but I mean, maybe it's just because it's Donnarumma and
racism.
Big. I'm not gonna argue really, but it is ridiculous. I don't get it. Like even this season, Mendy's probably he's improved even more.
Yeah.
So it's just stupid. It's stupid. No, I'm not gonna say too much more about it. It's just that Donnarumma's a big name, so I think that's why he won.
Same with Messi.
Yeah, but I think that with Donnarumma, obviously I agree with you. Hasn't been consistently starting for PSG. Started a couple of Champions League games, and then now it's switched over to the league. But how many clubs really have 2 keepers of that standard? Keylor Navas is in the top 10 as well. 2 top 10 keepers in that list, both at PSG. So I think that is a part of it. Obviously, Euros did give a bit of advantage because obviously it's a bit unfair on Mendy not being able to play in a tournament over the summer. So I guess that does give an advantage to Donnarumma, but he can't also hold out against him because it's not like he chose to play and he stopped Mendy from playing in the tournament. It's not like his fault. I think if I remember correctly, Mendy there's like a month or so where he was a bit sus early in the year. But I don't think that overshadows him that much.
That was on the Lampard though.
Doesn't matter though. He's still playing bad. You know what I'm saying?
The issues with that guy's management, man.
Yeah, but I do agree with you. I think he's definitely improved this season. Maybe you push on to get a bit more closer, but then even then, like Oblak was 3rd and he was like 250 votes behind Mendy. Yeah. So I think it's fair to say those 2 were clear of the rest. I know Oblak's only 28. I didn't know this. I thought he was a bit older than that. But he's only 20 years old. I don't know. I thought he was way older. But I mean, it's definitely going to be closer, I would say, next year, depending on how much Donnarumma actually does play for PSG. But then obviously, Mendy, I believe it would be going to the AFCON as well in January with Senegal. Yeah. So maybe that will give him a little advantage if they do well. I know you got Kepa, nothing to worry about.
Not for that many games either, I don't think.
Yeah, I think you only missed 3 or 4 games max, maybe one of them probably FA Cup as well. So not the end of the world. It's worse for other teams like Liverpool, I guess, but still not great. And then obviously the Kopa Trophy was awarded yesterday as well. Best players under 21 years of age. Pedri won it. Tom, do you think that was fairly straightforward for people to vote for?
Yeah, the guy managed to stay fit throughout the whole of the season. Don't know how. He went from competition to competition. He went from the whole typical league with Barca, then to with Spain to Euros. Spain didn't have a bad Euros. They were all right. I thought they did better than I thought they would, to be honest. And I thought they were a bit unlucky. And I thought he had a bit of a vital part to play in that new Spanish side. And then he went straight to the Olympics. I can't remember. I think they got to the final, didn't they? But they lost. Did they
lost to Brazil.
Yeah. So, look, how he managed to keep fit throughout that whole season, I don't know. But he was one of the main positives out of Barcelona, which there weren't many positives for Barcelona in the previous year, and he was one of the main positives for Spain. So for me, I think that's justified for Pedri, to be honest.
Yeah, great year. I did have a couple stats on him. Yeah, so January became the youngest ever La Liga player to score an assist in the same match. Named Euro 2020 Young Player of the Year. Sets record for most matches played in a season with 73. He signed a new contract with Barcelona in October. Now won the Golden Boy. He actually is injured now. I think he's out for a few weeks. So yeah, so not ideal for Barcelona. But yeah, the other sort of notable players on the list are Bellingham in second, Greenwood fifth, Saka sixth, and
Is Hudson-Odoi there?
He's not there. Not that I can see. Yeah.
Wait, Ty, you'd think he would be the fucking Tottenham fan. He's got some agenda against Chelsea players.
I know. I don't know what it is.
I'm joking.
He just gifted Carrick a point, so I don't know what it is.
We gifted you a point, shut up.
Wow.
Well, we'll come on to that in a bit, but before we do, Ty, Chelsea were also awarded Club of the Year. Obviously, great season for both men's and women's team. Obviously, Tuchel mentioned the academy as well. Is this how do you beat that this following year then?
Win the league, but I mean, after seeing what I've seen, it's not going to happen. Yeah, it's been a good year for us. Obviously, Tuchel coming in, guiding us to the Champions League, and obviously he's what it looks like, title contenders. So yeah, it's been a good year for the men. Obviously, with youth coming through as well, like more youth players like Chalobah. Obviously, Reece James is he's raised his level as well. My Jack's playing that face at Chalobah, walks into their defense. But it threw me off. But yeah, and obviously for the women, it was a great season last season. They got to the Champions League final. Obviously, they got battered by Barcelona, but that Barcelona women's team is crazy. So yeah, it's been a good year. It's going to be hard to top. I mean, maybe if we can win the league, get to the semis or the final of the Champions League, maybe, and then obviously see what the women can do. I think that's the only way it really gets topped. But yeah, man, it's been a good year. Good year as a Chelsea fan.
I'd say you got to win the Prem and Champions League to top it.
Yeah,
because winning the Champions League, if you go and win a Prem, you go, okay, sometimes you can say the Prem's more, winning the Prem's harder than winning the Champions League because you play less games. You have to be more consistent throughout the Premier League. I don't think you can get lucky winning the Premier League.
Mm-hmm.
You can get lucky winning the Champions. I'm not saying you did, but you can get lucky winning the Champions League with knockouts and stuff like that. So maybe win the Prem
Cup?
And I say winning the. No, I think they've got from the Champions League top that. It's going to be hard. Like I'm not saying anything. Obviously, it's going to be worse. It doesn't mean it's a bad season.
Yeah.
But
I know
to top it, you've got to win probably the Prem, and at least get to the final of the Champions League. I'd say that's tough.
Yeah, I agree.
Well, let's move on to that game on Sunday now. Jack, last week you talked about it. We all assumed it would be a fairly straightforward game for Chelsea, but it was, it's got United top on as well, just put out of nowhere. But that wasn't the case. The lineup sort of switched things up. I don't think anyone expected that formation. Do you think that was Carrick based, or do you think that was more looking towards the new appointment?
For me, I think that was still Carrick. Carrick based. We didn't see, just because there was nothing in that game. Yeah, we pressed sometimes fairly high, but we didn't have a high line. At times, all the times they had comfortable possession, we just sat back and just tried to defend well, which I thought we actually did. So I do think it was mainly Carrick based. It was a shock. I didn't expect Ronaldo to get dropped. Didn't expect Ronaldo to start on the bench, but you know what? Carrick was, had some balls to do that. Also, if Ronaldo did play, he would have just been a passenger. So it's not like we were attacking and we were missing Ronaldo. We were like, Ronaldo, he messed up. If Ronaldo started, he would have scored that, and that. So bold changes, and you can say it paid off because no one expected us to get even the point.
Yeah, Jack mentioned that. I think especially there was some good defending from United, but it's still a bit disappointing those attackers for not creating more chances against a team that was sitting a bit deep sometimes.
I wasn't disappointed because I expect it now. Like it would be a surprise to see Timo Werner actually score for once, but the only one that done well was Hudson-Odoi, but even he should have scored, or at least passed to Werner. So yeah, it was quite bad. Like we should have. They shouldn't have won the game. Like they shouldn't have even scored because obviously we know what happened.
Shocking.
Furthest player in the world made a mistake.
Yeah.
Your boy Sanch scored as well.
Yeah, my boy Sanch.
Nice shit.
But yeah, it was dead, man. It was so dead. Like fair play to Carrick because he actually showed some like level of tactics. So fair play to him. But other than that, it felt like we was playing Burnley. I mean, a United fan celebrating a draw is just a bit how far a bit through.
We weren't celebrating a draw. You got to remember, we've just spent 3.5 years under Ollie where we started going up, and then year and a half we've just been dropped. And who in this call, who in the world would have thought, you know what, actually being serious, and Man United are going to get something from that?
I told you were going to.
You weren't being serious though. Like you were just saying it. We all knew Chelsea were 9 times out of 10 going to win. So you say Chelsea win. You weren't going to say, oh, United could snatch a draw here. It was always Chelsea. How good you were playing. Yeah, you drew to Burnley your last home game, but like you still been playing fantastically well, and no one expected that. So people are obviously looking. Obviously, we wanted to win. Every United fan wanted to win, but we went to that game with our expectations so low, which made the point good. In the terms of how far we are, going again 3 points behind the top 4 wasn't an option. So we had to get the point, and it was a good point in the end. But like I said, we did want to win. No one expected us to.
What I will say is the loss of Ben Chilwell, that's going to affect us massively because Marcus Alonso killed a lot of attacks on Sunday.
To be fair, I thought both your wing backs did. I normally see that's where you get your chance to create from, but I thought we nullified it well. Alonso, we know he's not the best, but even sometimes he has so much space. Like both wing backs, whether it's Chilwell or not, who's got better ability, he's still always so free. I never once saw Alonso or James in so much space. I'm like, don't switch it. So I thought we did that quite well.
Yeah, do you know what I think it is though? I think now that obviously Chilwell's injured, I think teams just going to target James more because they know that Alonso's not going to be as effective just because he's shit. So
yeah, that's true. That could be. Yeah.
Yeah, like Alonso, he's a decent cross for the ball, but you probably noticed it in the United game, rather than sort of overlapping and sort of helping Hudson-Odoi out if he's a bit stuck one-on-one, he likes to go in the box a bit more or get the end of the cross rather than put it in himself, which I think is a bit different to Chilwell. I know Chilwell scores a lot, but in that situation, he's more likely to overlap or at least stay out wide and help Hudson-Odoi out. So I think Tuchel's going to have to work something out there. Obviously, it won't be like this most weeks. But Jack, you got obviously Arsenal on Thursday now. Are you expecting similar tactics in that game? Is Carrick still in charge?
I'm not, because obviously yesterday Rangnick was announced fully by the club. However, he won't be in the dugout, so he won't be fully in charge of the Arsenal game due to work permits. However, because obviously there's been new restrictions in today, he actually flew in yesterday. Yeah. So he doesn't have to isolate or anything. So, he won't be in the dugout. He'll be in the stadium, and I'm sure he'll be over Zoom, speaking to the players, having a bit conversation with Carrick. So, although Carrick's going to be taking training, I do think you'll start to see little bits where, I think Rangnick said that or has told him to do that. However, I do think because we're at home, the crowd's going to be behind us with the United fans. We're not saying we're going to go win the league, but we've got a sense of optimism for we can see the future as he's going to go above after the end of the season. So the crowd's going to be behind us. The players, under the floodlights, we might see a reaction. We might actually see a higher line, a higher press. So yeah, I think we can see. I do think we'll see a change in tactics from the Chelsea game.
Yeah, I feel like obviously we beat you there last season, but I think, like I said, no fans there probably helped us a lot in that sense. And obviously with their managerial change now, some signs of positivity against Chelsea, I think that will help the fans create a better atmosphere there. I think it's good that we bounced back after that Liverpool defeat. A solid win over Newcastle, good to keep a clean sheet. Saka getting a goal was good, but I'm not sure if he'll be fit for that game anyway because he did pick up that injury. I can't see Pepe even replacing him. I think Martinez is ahead of him in that order anyway. But yeah, I don't know. I'm not that. I was more confident going to the United game last year. I think I don't know whether that's due to Ole, due to no fans, but I'm not as confident this time, I'd say.
But still think you can get us because because he only came in yesterday. He's only going to have a few training sessions. You can't expect miracles, so you can still get us. We're going to be in our old ways, If you put the pressure on us, we're more likely to go and sit back, and that's where you can. I'm not sure if Shaw's going to be ready yet.
Maguire's back.
Yeah, Maguire's back, but could be worse enough for us. But I don't know. We don't know if Shaw's back yet, so we still could have Telles. He's got a great cross on him, but his liability defending. So, you can get us but like I think your 19th thing created chances for open play. Only Norwich has created less chances than you. So, maybe if we do sit back and block the lines, maybe it might benefit us as you're not going to be able to break us down and create anything. But I don't want to see that.
Yeah, we do really struggle against teams to sort of sit back. I think when we play Aubameyang and teams do that, he's not the sort of link-up type of player. So, Lacazette is better in that situation, but even then we still struggle to sort of, we could start a move, but finishing it is quite hard for us in those situations. But yeah, I think the only advantage we have going into that game is I think we're 5 points ahead of you guys right now. So it does give us a bit more freedom to, do what Arteta sort of wants rather than say if you're 1 point behind us, I think we would go a bit more defensive and sort of just make sure you stay behind us at the end of the game. But in this sense, I think we've got a bit more freedom to go for it, I can't remember who we've got after you, but I don't think they're necessarily that difficult. I don't think we have a difficult game until sort of the box like Christmas Day around there somewhere. So I think it would be a bit damaging if we lost this game so close to that Liverpool one as well, even though we did beat Newcastle in between. You don't want to get that sort of losing feeling back after the run we went on. Yeah. So, hopefully our players can carry on the form. I'm hoping Tierney starts. I can't lie. I'm just not a fan of Tavares just taking shots from 30 yards every time.
But he's a good bit. He played well against Newcastle. He played well. I thought he was your best player. I know he did take 3-4 awful shots, but in that game he actually played well. So Tierney might come in for like the so-called bigger game against Man United and Newcastle, but don't be surprised if he does keep his place because I thought he was actually quite good. Yeah,
no, I think he had a good game. They think defensively, I think Tierney's a lot better than him. I think Newcastle, to be fair, St. Maximin's on the other side for most of the game, so I don't think Tavares had to actually do any defending.
Why doesn't Tierney start? I thought he was this,
he's injured.
Left back.
He was injured.
He was injured.
Obviously,
he's just coming back now.
That's only because I saw him playing for Scotland, so I thought he was just fine.
No, I think like after that he picked something up. I think the only reason he didn't play against Newcastle was to be rested for this game. I think that's the same reason Lacazette came off the bench as well. And who was that started? I would say Odegaard started ahead of him. I think that was the only reason why. But I think I'd still start Tierney. I think Tavares is just there. I think it's a good left backup option if you need to rotate, rest, whatever it is. But if results have gone our way in the last few weeks, that's a good thing. Obviously, we've been winning. Beat up West Ham back-to-back defeats now. You guys dropping points, so it's good for us. So I think a win would be huge. getting the, because I know Spurs are they're about Wolves are obviously still Wolves are up there, but I think United are the main sort of challenge for that top 4 spot.
Especially now that we've got a new manager.
Exactly.
I can't see us playing worse.
Yeah.
I can only see us improving. So
exactly
interesting.
So
because it's only 12 games in.
Yeah, and if we get 8-point gap on you, then that's massive for us.
Exactly.
Yeah, Tom, we'll come to Spurs now. Obviously, your game against Burnley was postponed, but you did lose in the Europa League to the lowest ranked team in the Europa Conference League. Sorry, to the lowest ranked team. It means that I believe if the Tests win their last game, you guys are out of the competition.
Yeah.
Obviously, the performance is worrying, but is getting knocked out of that the worst thing in the world?
It's a bit worrying, don't you think?
Yeah, but is no European games midweek.
Having to play Thursday,
Joe,
Sunday.
I want a trophy. We're not going to get top 4. We're not. So we're not going to get top 4. And Conte, I think, has realised that he's got a lot of work to do. They've got to give him the funds. He's got to get a lot of shit out of the club. I could name so many that's got to go. And he needs to bring in his own players, which I think he will get the funds. Whether we'll see it in Jan, I think that's a tough ask because everyone knows January is it's just not the month to do business, except for the players that are maybe running out of contract. You could probably get them on a cheap, maybe like a Kessie or a Vlahovic, something like that. But then all the clubs are going to be after them. So that's going to just be super tough. So we've got to be realistic about the situation. We're not going to get top 4. You never know. It is still possible, obviously.
Yeah.
But no Tottenham fan really thinks we're going to get top 4. I think this year, for it to be a success, we need to see a bit of progress with Conte. And a trophy would be great. We still need the EFL Cup. Obviously, the FA Cup ain't started. But the best chance we got is this European Conference League. And it's a European trophy, which I think is better than a domestic, unless it's an FA Cup, to be fair. But I would want to win it because I think it's one of the easiest chances we've got. We just need a trophy. It's a good start. It means we definitely get into the Europa League, which might be a bit of a positive because then that's another chance to get into the Champions League next season, because it's not a cert we're going to get in the top 7 this year. You just don't know where Tottenham are going to finish. I want to stay in it. We stay in it if we beat Rennes. So we need to beat Rennes. So it's in our hands, but whether we'll bottle it, because Rennes ain't no easy team. They're the most informed team in the French league right now. They're smashing in goals. We struggled the first time we played them. But he's obviously going to go with his strongest 11 that are fully rested now. Oh, actually, it's not yet, is it? I don't think it is this week.
No.
It's not. Yeah. We got Brentford, I think. So that'll be a great game because I could just see them getting points against us as well. But I want to stay in the European Conference League just because it's a trophy. It's a trophy.
Yeah, I think the hardest opponents would be Roma to be fit, but then I think there's a chance that Napoli could drop down into it. Exactly. I think Leicester beat them or draw to them in the final game week, I think Napoli could finish third in their group. And they're doing quite well in Serie A as well. They had a good win over Lazio on the weekend. Mertens scoring a nice goal in that.
What's going on with Harry Kane? Because I thought he would have kicked on under Conte. I mean, it is early days, but
I see a lot of Tottenham fans give him stick, but I think a lot of Tottenham fans are just going off of like what he done in the summer. I don't think you can do that with his performances because, to be honest, right, if you watch us, and I'm not blaming this on Conte, but to be fair, I was blaming on Nuno because we literally just did not go forward. With Conte, he's actually trying to get us forward.
Yeah,
we haven't. I don't think we've necessarily got the right midfielders or like a right wing back to be honest. He's just not getting the support. What I don't understand what he can do if he's not being given the support. I'm not saying he's been amazing, but a lot of Tottenham fans getting him stick. What do you expect? Our team is shit. He's not getting no support.